Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I'm Simon of Simon Security Experts, and today we're going to be doing a review on a smart home video doorbell. Now, in recent times, the ones that we know of, from say Ring or Nest and things like that, have all gone up in price a fair bit. So I was thinking, is there a cheaper alternative, or is it going to be a piece of rubbish? Now, this is from Temu. It was £28. Okay, so I felt like it was worth the risk. I have already unboxed it, although I've put it all back because I needed to charge it first of all. So let's go through what we actually get in the pack together. So obviously the paperwork that comes with it. Now in here is a monitor that needs to be plugged in, but handy. You can put that around the house somewhere. Now obviously I haven't tested any of this yet. And here is the doorbell. So this is the unit. Sometimes you get a feel for something and you can take it out of a box and think that feels like a piece of rubbish that's going to break straight away. Honestly, this doesn't feel too bad. So the things it thinks it's got or says it's got is the screen, two-way audio, multi-languages, and it does say it's got night vision. So this is wireless. This has been charged. It's the demo of this. As you'd expect, pretty standard doorbell procedure. It comes with a back plate, a marking plate, the same thing for this in case you want to wall mount this unit, but it does have on the back here a little upstand on the back, and that's what I'm going to use it for. Rather than mount it to the wall, I'm just going to use this upstand and then put it down. So if it is any good, and we'll find out, then I'll link it in the video. Obviously, this is in no way affiliated to Temu. They are certainly not sponsoring this video, and I am in no way incentivized to be promoting this product at all. So let's get to fitting it. We're going to remove my current Ring doorbell because it's stopped working, and we're going to swap it for this, do some testing on it, see if it's any good, see if it's a bargain, or see if it's a load of rubbish. But genuinely, I have some high hopes for this one. Let's go. So let's get cracking. And first of all, we've got to remove the old Ring doorbell. And to be honest, I was actually made up that I still had the little tool for it. I can't believe I hadn't lost that, to be honest. So here we go. Let's get that off and just give it a little clean up and get rid of all the messy silicone that's going around what the old device was. There's still some marks on there, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
No way.
This was awful because after drilling in the screw for the new doorbell, it snapped, leaving the metal in the frame and me gutted. So I had to spend the next 10 minutes or so drilling out the old piece, but I got it there in the end, and here's the finished product with the doorbell on there. I'm going to fill those holes around it later. Turn the screen on, and it initially says disconnect because I haven't pressed the button. So let's go to the doorbell and test it out. Now I left the camera here because I wanted to go to the screen to test it, but it didn't work. So here's the second attempt. Let's go again. I go to the screen again and start speaking so we can test the audio, but once more, doesn't work. So what do? I do what we all hate doing and go to the manual. Turns out it was me doing it wrong. So at the third time of asking, I go through there and then the audio starts to come through.
Okay, at the third time of asking, I think I've got this to work. If so, why don't you give this video a like, maybe think about subscribing. As requested, by the doorbell. Right, it's actually working now, I can hear it from where I am.
So the next stage is to test it at night time. So while I wait for it to go dark, I'll do some putting practice, which I didn't do very well at. Now it's night time, so I'm going outside so you can see what the night vision is like on the device. Looks like a bit of a scary figure, but it's not too bad. It's okay. Then I make a silly thing of tripping my external light, and that's the end of that test. But we did enough so that you can see enough of it that it's alright at night time. So there we go, guys, a review on the smart home video doorbell. So we'll just run through some of the pros, some of the cons, and then essentially you can make your own mind up as to whether you think this device is actually worth it and where it might come in useful. So the pros of it, easy to set up. The devices were already synced to each other, so it was very straightforward. It's quick in terms of from the pressing of the doorbell to actually coming through to the receiver and the unit. So there's no lag time or anything like that. So, some doorbells will be pressed and then 5 minutes later, you get the notification inside and then the person's already gone. So it has that benefit to it. It seems relatively well made. I feel like it could last. Charge time didn't take long. I don't know about battery life yet. I will do another video on the review of that, maybe a short, just to see how long it actually lasts before it goes down. Now, the negatives. Number one for me is the fact that there isn't an app for it. So yes, it's cheap, but I suppose it's cheap because there's not an app for it. And that would make me think, well, there could be other ones that are just as cheap from, say, Amazon or eBay, to be honest. Now, maybe I got this wrong and you'll feel differently, and I could just be incorrect on this. But when I bought this and it said smart home video doorbell, anything that's smart to me is internet based, therefore has an app. That's how I've always thought. That's why my own security system, I call it a smart security system, because it's online. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, another positive is there is an SD card slot in the side of the device, so you could record the conversations that you had with someone whenever they come and press the doorbell, which is a handy feature. Another negative is the night vision is okay. Not great, but it's you know what, it's usable, essentially. Where I think this really could come in handy is, dare I say it, for, say, an elderly person who doesn't have a mobile phone and just wants something really straightforward so they can talk to the person at the front door. Think then it can come into its own and be quite a useful little piece of kit. So it has its pros, it has its cons. Its longevity is still to be decided, to be found out. But I will report back. Someone's at the fucking door. Someone's ringing the doorbell. Who's that?
Sorry, lad. I realised when I got away that.
Oh, it's all right, mate. Nice one. Cheers, mate. Well, that was a meal prep service. So it worked in that demonstration, I guess. Maybe you picked that up on the mic. So it has its uses. Overall, is it really worth it? I suppose time will tell. I do think it's something that could be useful in certain situations. Is it a bargain without it being smart? Well, when I say smart on an app, don't know, to be honest. You have to make your own mind up on that. See what you think. Let me know in the comments if it's something that would be of any use to you. If you can see a plus point for it. At least there's no subscription fees, considering it's not an app-based system. So yeah, that is a review of a relatively cheap Temu video doorbell with its own screen. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.